what are your demons and how would you even define them?
Yeah, exactly. So, I think I'm not gonna take like I'm gonna try to give a specific answer to me because I feel like a very general answer will throw people off.
For sure.
Because I don't feel like I think there's principles that apply, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's still everyone's own journey.
It's very unique. It's like a diet.
Exactly. Exactly. There's no black and white. It's very gray.
Yeah.
So for me, and this people can get inspired from this and maybe apply some of it, but for me, it's two parts. So the first part is understanding the underlying limiting belief or value system that you're holding on to that's causing this let's say suffering or thought pattern or insecurity or anxiety. There's always an underlying belief, right?
Can you just give us an example?
Yeah,
just like,
for sure. I mean, I can give you an example right now. So I was driving here, I was late, right? So this is a perfect example because it literally happened an hour ago. So, but I've done this work, so I'm aware of what happens. So typically, let's say I'm getting late to a place, right? And this can, maybe other people can relate to this too, because I know a lot of people who judge the crap out of themselves when they're late to something. So let's say you're driving to your, I'll speak to my example. I'm driving here, I'm late, and my brain goes, oh my God, like you're a bad person, you're a failure, you're this, you're that, right? So that we judge the crap out of ourselves, right? And then, but I've gotten past that stage, so I'm aware. So now but for someone else who's going through that judgment, crazy insecurity judgment, the good thing to ask is like, okay, why do I feel this way, right? I think it's really, because one of the things I want to drive here is like, the questions you ask are the answers you're gonna get. So ask powerful questions. We ask questions like, why is this happening to me? We ask very disempowering questions, right? So I think like, so one of the best things you can do is like, okay, what is this here? Why is this here right now? Why is this judgment here right now? If you ask yourself that question deep enough and truly enough, what you realize is, so for me, what it comes down to when I say underlying belief is, so when I was younger, when I would be late to school, my mom would tell me like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're always being late, you're a bad kid, like this and that, right? And I think, so a lot of those like self-judgment, insecurities, anxieties come from, I don't want to say all of them, but a lot of them come from our upbringing, right? Because we were taught certain values, and then we give those values to ourselves as the like people who gave it to us. So we kind of like take it on, like, okay, this is me. So now I'm realizing, okay, like this is so when I'm getting the judgment, I'm being late, okay, this is my mom's voice. This is not me, this is my mom's voice coming in. And then the second part to that is, I think this is like a deeper spiritual truth, but the second part to that is, which is hard for people to accept, is actually acceptance. So acceptance is also like partly, I think, being fair to yourself, partly also being compassionate to yourself, and partly giving yourself a lot of grace. And I'll give you a specific example for that. So lately I've been feeling really uninspired at work, right? Like at my daily day job. And I was just like, oh, like I don't like it. I'm not doing good work.
Dude,
like
same.
Yeah. So we can talk about the astrology piece of that. But I feel like I'll literally walk you through how I got out of that, because it's so beautiful. Because once I got it, I was like, man, this is literally what people are resisting. It's beautiful. I feel like I got the answer, So basically, what happened in a typical situation, let's say you're not performing the way you want to or whatever, how would you talk to yourself typically?
I would definitely like feel disempowered. I would feel that I'm not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's the same thing. So it goes into these talking patterns of like, I'm not enough, like this is horrible, I should be doing better. And I think what the deeper spiritual truth, the reason I say that is because it's very meta, but it's also like very easy to understand, right? Which is why I know it's like a full truth. So it's basically just accepting that this is what it is right now. Because I think a lot of the reason we stick to bad habits is because we resist them so much. Let's say you're a smoker, let's say you're alcoholic. Every time you smoke, every time you drink, you actually hate yourself, right? Because you're like, oh, here I go again. Like, I'm gonna drink this bottle again. Here I go, I'm gonna smoke this again. Like, I know it's not gonna make me happy, but I gotta do it. There's so much resistance, and the resistance is actually what keeps us addicted to that habit. Because the resistance is what's driving us to do the behavior. Because the resistance, it's an energy that will always drive you to actually do it. So if I'm like, for example, if you're resisting like say you're going to a party and you're like, people are gonna hate me, people will hate you, or if you're resisting that, like if you're not accepting the flow of things. So for me, so like going back to the being uninspired at work example, bro, like literally the morning I said, this is just who I am right now. I am uninspired. I just accepted deeply I am uninspired. Like I am not doing well. I am like horrible at work. Cool. Great. And the moment I did that, it's the irony, the paradox of life is so beautiful. The moment the alcoholic accepts, I am an alcoholic and this is okay, the addiction goes away. I've seen this with my close friends.
That's the last stage of grief.
Yes, acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance, exactly. So I think it's acceptance and not resisting. So the moment you truly take in like, this is just the present moment, this is where I'm at. Like for example, if you're, let's say a child, like I speak to young kids a lot, and if you're a young kid that's like, let's say failing at a sport, right? The reason we keep failing is we keep resisting. We're like, this guy's better than me, this guy's better, I can't do this, I can't. The moment you're like, yo, I am just horrible at the sport, like you actually get way better.
You humble yourself. I'm a student of this craft, and like there's always gonna be somebody younger and healthier than you. That's like the philosophy. We're dying every second type of thing, and even the most elite athletes humble themselves again. I'm a student of the thing that I'm doing. Right? Maybe I have the power to be a teacher, but I'm still a student, and I'm still a teacher.